Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Retirement SOS. My name is Ernie. Have you ever driven on the same main street over and over and over again and not be aware of the businesses on either side of the street? And as you're driving that 50-kilometer speed limit, the storefronts just become a blur of nothingness as you travel from point A to point B. The journey in between doesn't matter. You're simply not paying attention or caring. And I realize this road trip sounds a little bit off kilter, but clarity is just around the corner, right next to that Dairy Queen. Earlier this year, I was asked to be a fundraising volunteer for a charitable event. And this wasn't just one of those sit at your desk and email boring fundraising letters to potential donors. No. There was a lot more to it. My job would entail face-to-face and person canvassing of small businesses in and around the neighborhood. I would be their man on the street seeking donations and sponsorship opportunities for an upcoming charitable event. And I have to admit, I did have my misgivings, but I knew the area and I thought, what the heck? Let's try something I've never done before. So I put on my walking shoes and accepted the challenge. Let's just say I quickly found out I was a lousy fundraiser. It's hard and time-consuming work. And here's what happened. Many of the small businesses I encountered were struggling, so there simply wasn't any extra money to give to charity. Rejection after rejection just put me in a foul mood. This volunteering assignment was killing me. Then something happened. I received a very different reception as I walked into a small store and encountered a man who really welcomed me. I thought to myself, what a nice change. And as a result, my mood suddenly got a lot lighter. The owner of the store was a tailor, and his primary business was making custom-made suits, jackets, and pants. And it was a trade he learned many years ago in Italy. I made my pitch for a charitable donation, and he actually listened from start to finish. And the man was very polite, but then the reality of his business set in. Basically, his sales were down, and as a result, he had to lay off one of his part-time employees and do all the work on his own. And there were some months he made a little bit of money, and others he just broke even. The only consolation, he wasn't losing any money. In the end, he couldn't afford to donate. I know this is going to sound strange, but I felt a certain connection with this man who looked like he was about the same age as me. And I was curious about his situation. So I continued talking and, of course, brought up my favorite subject, retirement. And I asked him if he had any plans to retire. He didn't answer immediately, but told me designing and making men's custom suits was his lifelong craft and passion. Then he told me something unexpected. He admitted he thinks about retirement and continually goes back and forth between carrying on with the business or finally retiring for good. And our conversation got me thinking. I came to the conclusion that we sometimes underestimate the gray area that appears between continuing to work and the choice of retirement. And as you can see, there's a gap. And sometimes the gravitational pull goes to the working side of the equation, and other times it pulls towards the retirement side. And it is especially prevalent if you own your own business. And it's much harder to give up being self-employed when you've started something from scratch. And professional people such as doctors and lawyers also struggle with that gray area between working and retirement. And it's not as if people don't understand the benefits of retirement. The trouble is, some employees find it a little too comforting working in that gray area, and it offers them an excuse to maintain the status quo. And many consider their workplaces like their second homes. And as a result, a full-fledged retirement may be considered too drastic for some, but there are solutions. And what we're finding out for many folks is they don't consider retirement as a single point in time. What they are seeking is a gradual transition, and that usually involves working fewer hours or days for a phased-in retirement. The bottom line is we need to start appreciating and accepting the fact there are multiple pathways to retirement. And it's just a matter of finding out which one works best for you. Thank you for watching. So until next time, bye for now.